Hello viewers, welcome to my channel. Marcus "Buff" Bagwell, a name synonymous with the golden era of professional wrestling, has faced one of the toughest battles of his life, both inside and outside the ring. The beloved wrestling veteran recently underwent an above-a-knee amputation of his right leg following a 5-year-long medical struggle stemming from a devastating car accident in 2020. Despite this life-altering challenge, Bagwell's fighting spirit remains unbroken, and he has set his sights on returning to wrestling, proving that determination can overcome even the greatest obstacles. The beginning of a nightmare. The 2020 car crashing. August 2020. Bagwell was involved in a serious car accident behind a food court in Marietta, Georgia. The crash severely damaged his right leg, specifically his kneecap and patellar tendon, leaving his knee crushed beyond simple repair. From that moment on, what followed was a grueling and painful journey of surgeries, complications, and recovery attempts. Initially, doctors performed multiple surgeries, including a knee replacement and a series of grafts meant to reconstruct the damaged tissues. However, complications like infections and the sheer extent of the damage meant Bagwell's knee remained unstable and highly prone to further injury. Over the course of nearly 5 years, he underwent approximately 40 surgeries, an extraordinary number reflecting the medical team's efforts to save the leg. The toll of physical and emotional pain. The physical pain was just one part of Bagwell's ordeal. Alongside the extensive medical procedures came a mental health struggle. Battling chronic pain, limited mobility, and the slow pace of recovery, Bagwell fell into a deep depression. The toll of addiction to alcohol during this period became another hurdle, as he used drinking to numb both physical and emotional agony. The wrestler's once vibrant and active life slowed down considerably. He often spoke candidly about how his addiction worsened over time, reaching a point where he carried small bottles of alcohol just to get through his days. It was a dark period for the wrestling legend, one that many fans were unaware of until he began opening up in recent interviews, finding hope and sobriety in 2022. Things started to change for Bagwell when fellow wrestler Diamond Dallas Page helped him enter rehab. That intervention marked a turning point. He embraced sobriety and slowly began reclaiming control over his life. Now, nearly 3 years sober, Bagwell credits this transformation as a critical step toward acceptance and healing. With clearer mind and renewed hope, he faced the harsh truth that despite the countless surgeries, his leg would never regain sufficient function. Doctors presented him with a difficult choice: continue attempting complex surgeries with low chances of success and constant pain, or opt for amputation followed by rehabilitation. The amputation and new beginning. Choosing the latter, Bagwell underwent above-a-knee amputation of his right leg in mid-July 2025. The surgery, performed by a specialized medical team, marked the end of one chapter and the beginning of another. Despite the seriousness of the operation, Bagwell approached it with courage and optimism. In a heartfelt video recorded just hours before the surgery, he expressed hope and determination, saying, "I'm trying to be excited about it, and I think it's going to be a wonderful thing." Post-operation, he is already beginning the next phase: rehabilitation, prosthetic fitting, and physical therapy. Though the path ahead is steep, Bagwell is committed to regaining mobility and independence. Looking forward, back in the ring. What makes Bagwell's story especially inspiring is his refusal to let this setback define his future. With characteristic grit, he has publicly announced his intention to get back in the wrestling ring. "I want to get back in the ring, hit the ropes, have a match," Bagwell said, embodying the same passion that carried him through some of wrestling's most memorable moments. This goal is not only a personal mission but a message of hope to anyone facing life-changing adversity. Wrestling history includes examples of athletes overcoming physical disabilities to perform at the highest levels. Bagwell's aspiration echoes the journey of wrestlers like Zach Gowen, who lost a leg as a child, yet defied expectations to compete in WWE. A legacy beyond wrestling. Marcus "Buff" Bagwell's legacy in wrestling is secure from his early days debuting in 1990, to his time in WCW, where he won 5 World Tag Team Championships alongside partners like Too Cold Scorpio and Scotty Riggs. Known for his charisma and athleticism, Bagwell was a mainstay during wrestling's boom years. But now, his story transcends championship belts. It is a story of resilience, courage, and the human spirit. Through addiction, pain, loss, and finally acceptance, Bagwell stands as a symbol of perseverance. He has openly acknowledged the challenges of adapting to life with a prosthetic limb but remains determined to turn his new reality into an empowering example. "You can have just as good a life with or without a leg," he said. "I'm taking this by the horns." Support from fans and wrestling communities, and the announcement of his surgery and amputation, Bagwell has received an outpouring of support from fans, friends, and wrestling colleagues. His willingness to share the raw truths of his journey has inspired many and brought attention to the importance of mental health and sobriety in professional wrestling, a sport often glamorized but rife with hidden struggles. Close friends in the wrestling community, including fellow wrestlers and industry insiders, have praised Bagwell's courage and expressed eagerness to see him recover and make his triumphant return. What's next? Bagwell's road ahead will be challenging. Physical therapy for above-the-knee amputees involves relearning basic movements, developing balance, and mastering prosthetic use. For a former athlete used to explosive physical performance, this will require immense patience and dedication. Yet, with his strong mindset and support system, Bagwell is confident in his ability to reclaim an active lifestyle, including wrestling once again. His story serves as a beacon of hope that no matter how devastating the setbacks, the fight isn't over until you decide it is. Buff Bagwell's fight has only just begun. Final thoughts. Marcus Buff Bagwell's journey from a horrific injury through years of surgeries, addiction, and mental health battles to amputation and hopeful recovery is a powerful reminder of the human capacity to overcome adversity. Wrestling fans everywhere are rooting for his success, not only for one of their heroes to return to the ring, but for a man who embodies courage in the face of life's toughest challenges. As Bagwell takes the first steps with a prosthetic leg, his goal remains clear: to prove that strength isn't just physical, but mental and emotional. And with that spirit, Buff Bagwell will always be a champion.